Oh boy. I found another one here, folks. Breaking news. Leon Schuster is a racist. Wow. I didn't know. I did not know Leon Schuster is a racist. That Afrikaner fellow. Guess who says he is? Another Afrikaner fellow. Liberal, columnist. They're coming through. This columnist. 6 July article, News 24. It also knits together all those other white folks in order to make a point about Leon Schuster being racist. Can you imagine that? Headline: Leon Schuster, Helen Zille, farm attacks and the crisis of whiteness. Not going to read the whole article here. I just want to go straight to Leon Schuster's. A week ago, Showmax removed 6 of filmmaker Leon Schuster's movie from their catalog. Growing up in white South Africa, as I did, Schuster was a central part of your cultural DNA. 2 immediate examples come to mind. In one of his films, an empty suitcase with only a snake inside was placed next to a busy township road. Schuster and his crew would hide in the bushes as they waited for taxis to stop, pick up the suitcase, drive off just to stop again, and for screaming, often hysterical black people to scatter from the minibus. In the second example, black and colored workers in a chicken factory were made to believe that a chicken was talking through its backside while Schuster and his crew played a hidden voice through speakers in the factory. As a child, I thought both these scenes were funny. There was another scene of a rugby match only broadcasted by black rugby commentators. It was hilarious. It was only later in life when I realized the inherent racism of his movies. How they portrayed black people as inferior and viewed black bodies as more subjects to conduct humorous experiments on. The surprising thing about Showmax's announcement was not that it happened, but that it took so long. I trust that the SABC has followed suit. Unfortunately, the reaction from the Afrikaner establishment to the decision was one of defensiveness and denial. One commentator even went so far as to defend Schuster as an anti-apartheid activist. Folks, do you see what's happening here? Leon Schuster. So, Adrian Basson here obviously chooses examples that suits him, you know, yapping about his whatever inherent racism that we see. And he also said that some white folks are saying that they defended Schuster saying he's an anti-apartheid activist. Come on, dude. Come on, Adrian. We all grew up on Schuster. We still love Schuster. I can't wait for another Schuster movie to come out so I can laugh at the movie. Come on, dude. This is crazy town. You know? For me, in fact, the funny thing that I enjoyed about Schuster's pranks in his movie was he was taking the mickey out of everyone. Black, white, whatever, you know? So sometimes he would dress up as a black peasant, put a black makeup on it, you know, and act as a black police officer and start stopping white folks. And you know, he would hide maybe a stop sign, or stop at a place where maybe you'd see that you should drive maybe 60 kilometers per hour. Just a few meters from that, then you would put another sign, maybe that would say you should drive 30 per hour, and then you stop people and say, hey man, why are you driving at 60 kilometers per hour on a 30 uh, kilometers per hour zone? And white folks would lose it. Sometimes some Afrikaners would then start insulting the what they would think as a black officer, you know, some obviously with racist tendencies, So this African guy by the name of Leon Schuster would do that for us to still see, some of the racist tendencies, okay, of white folks, who then eventually at the end of the day realize that it's a Leon Schuster, and portraying the reality that is happening in the Republic of South Africa. And here Adrien Basson says that Leon Schuster is racist, and his livelihood as a film actor should just been thrown off. Thank you for Showmax to throw off his movies, and he's hoping for that the SABC will also do the same thing and destroy Leon Schuster's business, because you know what? This was inherent racism that Leon Schuster was not even aware of, the issue of white liberalism again. The judges who are going to tell you as a black peasant that, hey, this is racist, this is not racist. This robot is red, you can stop. This robot is green, you can cross. Or should I say the traffic light? See, the lecturing of black folks by white liberals as to what is racist and what's not. And it was so funny to see that on Twitter that almost 90% of black communities, in fact almost everybody, they love Schuster. They were like, oh, we didn't know Schuster was racist. We're having fun throughout all the time, and we're still saying that the guy acted as some sort of anti-racist activist, but not Adrien Basson. He wrote an article, so he's now linking Helen Zille with Leon Schuster, and this is the articles that they do write, this white liberal journalist. They would say, let's see, Blackie Swart is a racist, and then I'll write an article that would say, just like Helen Zille's love for DA to be a lily white political party, Blackie Swart exhibits Afri-Foramish behavior in perpetuating a hidden racism in South Africa. You're like, what? And they will say, here are my hands. Can you see how clean my hands are here? I'm another African journalist, Adrien Basson. My hands are clean. I love black folks. I hate other white Afrikaners who are racist like Leon Schuster. I mean, this is just outrageous. So this guy is advocating to destroy Leon Schuster's legacy, his business, his movie to be thrown out, not only by the woke social justice warrior, monopolistic DSTV, who are following suit of this imported culture from the Democratic Party of the United States of America here in South Africa, to be trendy, to be woke and, up to be in times, to be in sync with what's really happening now. They just woke up, no survey, okay? DSTV never made a survey of how black people feel about Leon Schuster's movies, okay? You woke up in the morning and the whole black communities are like, no, what is happening? We love Leon Schuster. 90% of them, must say, or should I say 99.9% of them, so that the other 0.1 would not say, hey, don't involve us in that, man. Leon Schuster is racist. I mean, this is crazy. So this is just what's basically is happening now. The woke attitude, scouring and sniffing around for racism all over the show, and keep perpetuating such stuff. And I guess this is a big industry, you align with so-called non-profitable organizations. Some are good. Initially, they started as organizations that are fighting against racism, and then they get institutionalized, and then they start to have funding from giant corporate companies who fears to be seen as not doing something against racism, whereas even when those companies are adhering to, for instance, good governance, the balance of different races of people being employed in those companies. But no, because it's like what they call the 100th monkey syndrome. See, you see other companies jumping into the bandwagon, and then they start putting funding to such organization. Say maybe I could just start another organization, that would fight racism at clubs, uh, drink together, drinking diversity organization, and we come up to your restaurant and say your club doesn't have a diversity of a number of a suitable number of black folks who are supposed to be drinking in here. Why aren't we seeing black people drinking in your club? And then as my organization starts to grow and I start having donation, and then you then as a company, maybe as a bar that doesn't have a number of black people who drink alcohol there, perhaps start offering free drinks to the first 20 black people who come up to your club, in order for you to virtue signal that you're also hip to the game, and then my non-profitable organization starts to profit a lot. You've seen those two founders of Black Lives Movements, I say, the other lady there, she said that the organization is a Marxist-Leninist organization, and these organizations, they don't stop there. Some have good intentions when they start, and then they start then being a corporation themselves. And in order for you to continue to make money that you were making as an organization that's fighting against racism, you just have to now investigate racism all over, and also try to find situations that one might not see them as being racist, and start making them to be racist. Hey, maybe this is inherent racism that we are subconsciously not being aware of. So now we are consciously making you aware of this racism that we're seeing and the signs that you're exhibiting. In order for for that non-profit organization to continue making moolah. I mean, Reverend Al Sharpton is one of good race baiters that are out there. See a black person being shot by white police? He's there. He's there at the funeral giving speech, you know? And these are the kind of people, when there's a black on black violence that's happening in our communities, they're never there because those ones are not making headlines. See? They're not making headlines. These are the things that are happening in the community. And the same black communities, we don't want crime. We also need assistance with the police to come and quell crimes. You know what I mean? So this is just basically what's just been happening. It's unbelievable that Leon Schuster, a comedian guy, a prank guy, would then be labeled to be a racist, you know? And these networks are getting away with it. They're removing him all over the show, you know? So it's crazy. What's next? There is the roast of Steve of Mayer being removed from DSTV, you know? We all watched the roast. And in the end, I guess maybe because Leon Schuster played a little bit of an outro with the guitar there going, oh, Steve-O, Steve-O. Maybe that's how it's got linked to Steve-O, and now he's a racist comedian, I guess. That was making fun of everybody, but then at the end of the day, Adrian Basson has to then nitpick what he wants to nitpick in order to justify his narrative of painting a big brush of racism to uh, Leon Schuster. Is it pun intended or no pun intended? Who cares? My name is Mamuji, and thanks for watching the Mamuji Show, and I'm out.